Thanks to the support as a channel member, Kyle Mack. Yeah, I know it's been a disappointing season. Yeah, I know we're going to need to do better next year. I know some of our big players might want to leave. Yes, I know you've still got Slam Dunk's phone number. Hello and welcome to part 133 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final two games of the season. We're away against Villa, we're at home against Everton, and it's been a very sad run into the end of the season. As you can see, we haven't won a football match since beating Whittlesea 10-0 in a friendly back in March. The last time we won a competitive game was directly before that. We beat Chelsea 5-3, and since then haven't won a football match. It is one of the most miserable runs of form we've been on in a very, very long time. Dynamics are crumbling. Club atmosphere is down to average. Big changes are needed this summer, and I am worried that the big changes we're likely to get are going to be our key players leaving the club. There you go. They're starting to circle for Fazekas, for example. I would suggest Fazekas, Park are very much in danger this summer as two big, obvious ones who might leave. If Fazekas goes, I think we must bring Abagai back, who has only played like 6 games for Inter this season. So I think if we have 100 million for Fazekas, we can probably throw 50 at Inter and get Abagai back. And as much as we probably don't want to, I think that's what we have to do. Park leaving would be a problem. Anyone leaving is a problem. We've seen the problem that Gregoire leaving has caused us. Much sadness. Let's try and win a football match to end the season. I'm really tempted, actually, because we've got nothing to play for. Let's hit the pick youth prospects button. And that gives... I mean, don't always trust quick pick, boys and girls. An injured Alex Williams probably isn't the man we want to come in and play in goal for us. But it does mean an appearance for Harrison Davies. Anderson coming back in as well. I mean, they're not youth prospects, are they? Djukic, it'd be interesting to have a look at. This is just the reserves. This isn't youth prospects. I don't think that button works the way I think it does. But getting Garrido in, Garrido is an interesting player to have in because his route to the first team is kind of blocked by Jordi, by Juan Jose, by Richardson. But he's very good. He's got 5-star potential. He's going to be a superstar. So yeah, let's have a look at him. Let's get Bayer into the team as well and have a look at him alongside Veloso. Wally needs game time. I'd prefer Lillis, but Lillis has got a knock. So yeah, let's just do this little bit of rotation for the last couple of games. Let's have Sir Harrison Davies playing. Let's have a look at a couple more of these fringe players as we start to potentially prepare for life without some of these players who might try and move on this summer. It's going to leave me with decisions to make as well, because obviously with Abagai, that was a release clause. We didn't have an option. He had to go. With Gregoire, there was no release clause, but he asked to leave. We agreed a price, and then that price was met. So I kind of felt like we didn't have much of a choice there either, because he could very easily disrupt the dressing room. This summer, if that situation happens again, I don't think there's anyone on a release clause. The likes of Park, Fazekas, they don't have release clauses, I don't think. So if Park decides he wants to leave, if Inter Milan come back in for him again, because they were lurking around at Christmas, although they seem to have lost interest as his fitness more than anything has been a problem in the second half of the season. So maybe the fact that he's not very fit will stand in our favour because we might be able to keep him a bit longer. If they come lurking again and we're forced and he comes to me saying, I want to move, do we just say no and risk him being a disruptive influence? I know in practice, they're never disruptive for very long. At most 6 months or so, and then he'll come around. The only problem is 6 months of our best player being in a grumpy could lead to us being in the relegation zone by Christmas and me getting fired. It's such a big decision that once you've made it, you can't really go back on it until the next window, and that might be too late. So I'm kind of inclined to continue bowing to player power if it comes up. Hopefully it won't come up. We'll take the summer as it comes. And that'll be, what day is it today? That'll be Sunday. We get the transfer special. So I've got a little bit of time to figure out what I'm going to do and prep for it. We've got, I think, another £20 million from the Gregoire deal coming in on his next international appearance. So fingers crossed he gets called up for the summer internationals. and we get an extra 20 million into our transfer kitty for next season, because I think that'd be very handy. And we're going to take Yordi off. We're going to, you know what? Kieran Hodgkinson can come on. It's been a while. We've got Hodgkinson and Harrison Davies on the pitch at the same time at the moment. And that is lovely. Lovely to see. I think this is Hodgkinson's first appearance of the season. He has come to me recently saying he's looking for a new challenge, but I've just gave him a pat on the head and a dog biscuit and calmed him down. It seems to work. I just want the experience of Hodgkinson and Williams and Davies around the club. I think it's invaluable. If nothing else, Kieran Hodgkinson looks like he might have fixed Villalobos, and that it could be his greatest contribution to this football club when we look back at the end of the save. If Villalobos ends up being our all-time top goal scorer and all-time legend, I think we have to give a huge amount of credit to Kieran Hodgkinson, who's been mentoring him for over a year now, and there's not been an incident since the first day of the season, and we're now approaching the last day of the season. If he's going a year without missing training, without missing a match day, then we've got to start believing he might be fixed, and that is all down to Kieran Hodgkinson. So good work, Kieran. That's why we want to keep him around. On the flip side of all of that, of course, because there's always a flip side with me. Yeah, and unless you're brand new, you know there's always a flip side. On the flip side of that, our 3 team leaders are those 3 players: Harrison Davies, Kieran Hodgkinson, Alex Williams. None of them are first team regulars anymore. That's our captain and vice captain as well, with Davies and Williams. So that means we never have our captain or our vice captain on the pitch. We never have any of our team leaders on the pitch. And all 3 of our team leaders regularly come to me grumbling about wanting first team football or a new challenge. So they're not completely happy. So is the fact that I'm keeping them here, does the mentoring outweigh the grumbling team leaders and no leadership on the pitch situation we've got ourselves in? What I'm asking is, do I need to get rid of 1, 2 or 3 of those players this summer? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. We didn't win. We didn't score. Fairly standard. One more try. Here we go then. For the last time this season, please let us win a football match. Williams is coming in goal. Hodgkinson's coming in midfield. We're getting the band back together. Look at the state of that bench. This says a lot about what's gone wrong with our season. So many injuries. I'm still pressing the rotate button to get to this, the pick youth prospects button, but looking at how many players are injured, we wouldn't be much different if everybody was fit, if we were playing first choice, because nobody's fit. It's ridiculous. We need a win here just to give us a little bit of an end of season boost. We're going to finish 11th regardless, almost certainly. It's going to be 11th or 12th. But we've got to go into the summer with a little bit of positivity around the club. We can't go into the summer knowing we've not won a football match since March. That is no way to prepare the team for what I've decided is going to be a Champions League run next year, because we've had our little taste of Europe now. We enjoyed it. We now have an uninterrupted season, no Europe getting in the way. Next season, we're finishing in 4th place. And that's what I'm going to be telling every player who tries to leave. Look at Garrido go. Oh, what a pass as well. I tell you what, he might need some game time next year, because he looks a little bit special. It's going to be Garrido coming over to take the corner as well, looking for that in-swinger for Harrison Davies, but he can't get full contact on the header. It goes out for a goal kick. It would be lovely to see him grab a goal today and continue to edge ever closer to being the all-time top scorer. I think he's about 15 goals away, so realistically, he's never going to get there now. I'm just waiting for the day when Davies and Hodgkinson develop staff profiles and we can just get them both in the staff setup. That is a lovely goal from Bayer, who's really fallen down the pecking order this season as we've brought in new strikers and gone with other options. The emergence of Veloso, Yordi and Juan Jose coming in the summer, but Bayer reminding me that I probably need to remember he exists a little more often next season, because that is a pretty decent finish. And for the first time in what feels like forever, we're ahead in a football match. It's home 1, Everton 0. Oh, it feels good to be in the lead. Right, let's go and do another football. Bayer again, trying to get past his man. Djukic gets hold of the ball, plays it into Veloso, and there's Veloso with his 16th of the season. A very solid goal return from him, bearing in mind he's not exactly been a regular starter. He had a little run, probably a 2 or 3 month run starting, but once we started messing around with one striker again, it wasn't him, and he never really made it back in. when we went back to 2 up front because he'd fallen out of form by that point. But if we're fully committed to the 4-2-4 next season, which I think, based on the tactical analysis we did on yesterday's video, because I do tactical analysis now, based on that, I think we probably have to go all in on the 4-2-4 next season. And if we're doing that, Veloso, it's Veloso +1. I guess the +1 is Francisco. Veloso and Francisco. Villalobos has to force his way in. Juan Jose has to force his way in. That's £100 million worth of talent having to force their way into a first team. The starting strikers probably cost less than £20 million for the pair. I know Veloso was next to nothing. Francisco probably wasn't any more than 20 million. But that's just the way it works out sometimes. That's why you shouldn't spend £66 million on players who are 18 years old and you're just buying their potential, because there's no guarantees. Lovely ball from Hodgkinson. Veloso's in again. Veloso scores again. Number 17 for the season for him. Kieran Hodgkinson, you've still got it. Lovely pass from him. And maybe we need a little bit more experience in the team. Maybe we need those team leaders, the captain, the vice captain. All three of them are in the team today. And would you know it, we're winning a football match. Who'd have thought? I mean, Everton aren't very good, but if you have a look at the teams we've been losing to and drawing against in the little run we've been on the last couple of months, we haven't played many teams that are any good. So just the fact that Everton aren't very good doesn't make it a foregone conclusion that we go on and win the game. We're actually playing quite well today. And it does make me wonder if I should write off experience quite as quickly as I do. Imagine if Harrison Davies is a regular starter again next year. What a world that would be. Veloso's in again for his hat-trick. Hodgkinson's got another assist. I'll tell you what, Kieran Hodgkinson is getting the cogs turning in my brain with this performance. It's his first start in probably about 2 years, and he's been fantastic. Lovely pass from Hodgkinson again. Lovely finish from Veloso. This is a man-of-the-match performance from Hodgkinson, or it would be if Veloso wasn't on a hat-trick and goals were all that matter in FM. But at 4-1 now, this has been lovely. I'm enjoying myself again. We've got the feel-good factor back at the new home of football. This is all looking good going into next season. Veloso doing well to keep hold of possession there. It's back with Rogers, who finds Ali Basic. Can he ding one of his balls over the top? As I said, I mean, someone's just walked past as I said that sentence. Making a YouTube video. Oh, God. Oh, this is why you shouldn't record with your windows open. No matter how hot it is, no matter how sweaty you get, close the windows so people don't walk past, just as you speculate on whether someone is going to ding their balls over the top. It's 4-2 now. Still half an hour to go. We could still throw this away. We've definitely got it in us. Oh, I really don't want to. That felt offside as well, but it's not been given. Must have been close, but we didn't get the little animation to show me just how close. So presumably it actually wasn't very close. Hodgkinson has dropped back into the defence there to head that clear. I'm not quite sure what he's up to, dropping that deep. Maybe he's trying to make an argument that he should be my new Gregoire, my new holding midfielder. Meanwhile, Harrison Davies reminding me that he's slow, letting the Everton player charge past him. They've got 2 goals in a minute. It's now 4-3 with half an hour left. And the feel-good factor might just be drifting away again. Oh, come on, boys. Who have we got on the bench who can... I mean, a lot of injured players is who we've got on the bench. Fit, we've got Richardson, Fazekas and Kavalik. The only one who changes the game going forward is Richardson. I don't really want to take Garrido off. So we're probably not going to be making any substitutions today unless Garrido gets tired, because I want to see him play another full 90. I'm intrigued about him. It's actually 4-4. Unbelievable. It's actually 4-4. We're going to lose this game, aren't we? I don't want to see you replay. After all that talk of feel-good factors, it's now 4-4. Well, this removes any nonsense I might have had in my brain about Williams and Davies and Hodgkinson and coming with experience and leadership. They're just old and rubbish. Just going to sit and read my Weight Watchers veggie and vegan cookbook, I think. I don't want to watch this nonsense. What do I fancy? Sweet corn and carrot fritters. It's got an egg on it. That can't be vegan. I thought this was vegan. Veggie and vegan. So it's a vegan egg. Can you get vegan eggs? Coronation chickpea open sandwich. Being thin tastes disgusting. Looking at this cookbook. Egg muffins. I like muffins. Roasted chickpea gyros. 6-4 now, for those of you who are just listening while you're driving your car. We're being absolutely stuffed. Olive and artichoke tart. Halloumi curry. Maybe I should just do some cooking for the rest of this episode. I sure as hell don't want to look at what's going on this football pitch. Are we going to concede another one? I hope so. What has gone on at this football club? Sack me, Mrs Wearmouth. Go and get slam dunk. Put us all out of our misery. There now, down the right-hand side. Are we going to grab a consolation goal? How has it come to needing a consolation goal? We were 4-1 up with 35 minutes to go? And we're now looking for a consolation goal. Everton are in again here. This is truly inexplicable what has gone on in this second half. A player called Lion Top. That's amazing. Oh, fine. Fazekas can come on in midfield. That's what you want to do. That's what I might make Mark Wearmouth assistant manager again this summer. He served 15-year suspension as a coach, or close to probably. Maybe it's time to bring him back up to assistant manager. See if he can help solve this problem. That seems to be the correct thing to do here. Sack my assistant manager and promote Mark Wearmouth. It's the only logical thing. Wearmouth, the saviour. It might be the only thing to protect me from Slam Dunk coming in and taking my job, which has got to be on the cards at some point now based on how this is going. How much patience is Mrs Wearmouth actually going to have? It is home 4, Everton 7. This feels like a low point in the history of this football club. We've conceded 7 goals at home on the last day of the season at what hopefully is the end of a really miserable run. We're throwing the water bottle on the last day. They're down and uninspired. You're down and uninspired. Oh, my word. What a miserable end to the season. Fans criticise my tactics. I criticise their dress sense. Oh. Maybe I'll just resign. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.